Yeah. Hey man, we not only that, we're live, man. We are live in effect on this Sunday afternoon, October the 27th, 2024. Man, what a great day to be alive. What a great day to be around. Man, football is on all day. And well actually it's been on for the last couple of days here. And we're gonna talk about a play that happened on Thursday night. But before we do that, I want to say welcome to the 411 Sports World Network. I am your host, Mr. 411, and in the studio with me is Mr. Stephen Duval. How are things going, Mr. Duval?
Everything's going great, sir. Yeah, I just had a
Very
great week of football myself. Uh, had several games this week, big games. A couple of them pretty big games. Middle school championship game,
all
middle
right.
school playoff game. Had a rivalry high school game Friday night. So it's been a pretty good week for me.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like been action packed. And this episode is gonna be action packed because we're gonna go to the NFL and talk about a play that has been talked about around the world. And but before we do that, make sure everybody go to TikTok and type in Mr. 411 or scan that QR code. Help us get those numbers continue to grow like they are. And we love to see how it's all going turning out now, but keep doing that for us. Also do the same thing on Instagram, Mr. 411. That's the at. And then you can also scan that QR code right there. All right. So we're gonna get this party started. So everybody sit back for just 2 seconds. And we're gonna talk about the face mask seen around the world. All right, we are back. All right. All right, Mr. Duval. We're gonna talk about the face mask. The Rams, the Vikings at the Rams, the Thursday night game. I don't know if everybody had a chance to watch football on Thursday night. Like you said, there was so much going on at other levels as well. But the Rams Vikings game, it didn't end the game, but it was a crucial call in the game, and also one of those that a lot of people thought were obvious, and it was a face mask. And so let's put the image up of the face mask for one. All right, there it is, number 0 from the Rams. He's tackling Donald in the end zone. Sam Darnold, quarterback for the Vikings, in the end zone. This turned out to be a safety because the quarterback was tackled in the end zone. But look at there. See that left arm, that hand? Looks like it has a firm grasp of the face man. It seems like the helmet's being turned, the torque of the body of the quarterback. Everything looks like it's a face mask to be called, but then quarterbacks down there just, crying for a face mask call. And out on social media, it was just a lot of people saying, hey, Vegas is in on this. The officials are in on this. The NFL is in on this. But Mr. Duval, that's why you're here, right? You are a college football, high school football. You name the level, you pretty much are there. You even have, people that that call it the NFL level as well, that you know of or can relate to. So we want to get your thoughts on this play. We also going to talk about the rule and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm gonna hand the mic over to you so you can give us kind of an overview of the situation.
Okay. Well, overview. You say everybody was in on it. I guess I was in on it too. Then these con- these conspiracy theories, man. All it takes is one of these little episodes like this, man, and based on what the odds were out in Vegas or something like that, and everybody's in on the tape. Uh, and it really, uh, for one, I'm not a gambling man. I don't follow, ever since they put a lot of betting in sports and that sort of thing, I hear people from time to time say, well, you know what the odds were on the game. No, I don't know. I don't know what the odds were on that game, man. I don't know who was supposed to win and that sort of thing. I think about the only thing I'm gonna bet, is a cheeseburger or something like that with a friend on the game. So I understand all these theories, and a lot of folks have a lot of things invested from time to time, sports betting and all of that. And so um, I understand when people come up with these conspiracy theories
Hmm.
once they've lost all their money and trying to bet the house on a particular game and that sort of thing. But I know in my heart of hearts, I know that referee had nothing to do with trying to fix this game. I don't know that guy personally. I
Hmm.
just know, and the fact of the matter is, nobody, all these people who are talking, they don't know this guy's background. They don't know where he came from, what he does for a living, how many members in his family, and he got kids and all this kind of thing. Uh, so to even suggest that without knowing all this information about a person is kind of ludicrous at best. It's uh, so, and I know in my heart of hearts, I know uh, regardless of what people think about the referees in the NFL, they are beyond a shadow of a doubt the best of the best that this country or they're the best on earth.
Yeah.
Football is only played, American football is only played in the States and that sort of thing. So I'm saying these guys are the best in the world, best referees in the world, football referees. They're under a lot of scrutiny, and they have earned their way on that field to be able to call those games. Now, by the same token, they make mistakes and things happen. But I can guarantee you the reason that referee didn't make that face mask call is because he did not see it. Now, everybody else in the whole wide world had a better angle on this play than he did at that particular time. If you notice, if you watch that replay of that, you actually see him leaning to the side to try to get another view because he got blocked by another player or something that was happening in that area. So even though all the camera angles were great on the face mat, it looked pretty obvious. Everybody in the stands probably saw it. In his position where he was, uh, he got blocked out on that play. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that it happened, especially at that particular time. You never want to have anything to do with the outcome of a ball game. And a lot of people say, well, uh, if that not hadn't happened, they could have possibly drove down the field and scored the winning touchdown. And that's happened several times in the NFL. They'll get that ball back with no time hardly on the clock. They'll drive the length of the field and score. But it's no
Right.
guarantee they would have done it. But at least they were quote unquote robbed of that opportunity. Now, I'm not saying the referee robbed them. I'm saying the situation robbed them because he didn't see it, so he couldn't call it. Should he have seen it? Well, we can make cases all day long that he should have, because the quarterback is his guy. The referee, the guy in the white hat, that's his guy. The kicker, the holder, the kicker, and the quarterback are his keys on every play that you're watching the quarterback. As a referee, if that quarterback goes to the bathroom, you got to go with him because you got
Mm.
to see what's going on around the quarterback. You're there to protect that quarterback. When I say protect him, I mean to watch and see if there are any fouls against him. So, of course, he would have called that foul if he had seen it. But it's like I say, it's unfortunate that he didn't see it. Uh, uh, and he's looking, in that direction. But if you
Hmm.
notice, his turn when he moves, and when you see him move in the live video, he's looking trying to see around that guy.
Yeah.
So
And
now I
again,
didn't
Mr.
hear his
Duval.
explanation. I didn't hear somebody said that he admitted missing the call. Well, and the film don't lie. Whether he admits it or not, he didn't see it. So it. But I know in live time he didn't see it, so he couldn't call somebody he didn't see.
Yeah.
Now,
And that's the
what?
thing.
Go ahead on. I'm go ahead on time.
Oh no, no, I was just saying, yeah, and that's a good point that you make is that the live moving uh camera angle of it or just the live video or the play happening live is a lot different than the still pictures because we could put this picture up here
Yeah,
and you would think on the left it's like wow, okay, unobstructed view of the play, so on and so forth. But we got to remember these are uh some of the most athletic human beings in the world moving at a speed that a lot of us are not used to seeing on the field level. Like we're watching on TV, that's a whole different thing. But being on that level on the same field with these guys is different. And then you can look on the right, you do see bodies and stuff in front of the officials. So we want to make sure that people understand that, you know, is a lot it's a lot different watching it after the fact and all that stuff and
right.
also looking at still shots and everything versus this official having to do this live and within less than a second, all this stuff is happening. But carry on, Mr. Duval.
Uh, I was going to say what I don't understand is why a face mask is not reviewable. If they do in fact review plays in the NFL, I wonder, and I don't have the answer to it why
Hmm.
they don't. But it would just seem like it would be very simply to include that as reviewable. That's something if something as obvious as something like that. All these other calls, like on touchdown calls and everything that they review, where they have to take
Hmm.
10 minutes sometimes just to see did that ball touch the plane of the goal line and all the different angles and stuff like that. So here it is a safety call because I mean, man, it's a reason why you can't grab the face mask. You break somebody's neck, man, and that's why
Wow.
you face mask is off limits. You think about it, guy running, 90 on 100
Oh
miles an
yeah.
hour, and you grab that face mask, you're
Oh,
jerking
that's
his
a
neck and
great point.
everything else. You could pop his neck. Um,
That's a great point.
it's a dangerous sport. You should call it what you want to call it, but football is dangerous. I mean,
Yes, sir.
it is dangerous, and so why it's not reviewable? Because you can take a lot of pressure off of these guys by reviewing these plays. I wish you could review all the plays I've had this year, and all the
Hmm.
situations and all these so-called missed calls that that I didn't make. I wish some of that stuff could have been reviewable and everything else. And while I'm talking about it, just in the last couple of weeks, in one of my games, and I'm not going to say which one it is, because then folks would be looking up video on me. But I had an inadvertent whistle in,
Hmm.
in a game. I hadn't had an inadvertent whistle in over 10 years, probably more than that, 10, 15 years. But at that particular moment, I lost focus, and all of a sudden I had an inadvertent whistle. And that's a big mistake in a football game, because you're not supposed to blow the whistle until the play is over. The only way the whistle stops a play is if it's an inadvertent whistle. And so that happened to me personally this year. Uh, and so thank goodness it didn't have any effect on that game, on the outcome of that game. It pretty much was a blowout game. But uh, it's still sticking with me as a thorn in my side for this season that I had that mistake in a game. And I've had thousands of plays this year, but the ones that we miss like that, those are the ones that haunt us. And so that, is well, how could you do that? Well, I can tell you how I did it. I'm a human being. That's how I
Yeah,
did it.
that's one
So
reason.
yeah, uh I'm not here uh to criticize these referees and everything, because in my book, they they're better than I am. And who's to say I wouldn't have made that same call and missed that same call in that game if I had been in that position and those same circumstances had been in front of me. So uh, uh, I mean, it's just one of those things that happens in the season, and
Yes,
and,
sir.
and there's several others on different levels of football. I mean, there's been a lot of mistakes made in games this year. I can tell you that. It
Yeah.
just so happens that those big games, big Division I college game, uh, big NFL games, and all that, a lot of money and everything else is riding on those games, and so it's
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of pressure, a lot of pressure out there, a lot of pressure.
And here's something here. So there was a question asked to an official about this. It says on the Vikings last offensive play, it looked like the quarterback had his face mask pulled. What did you guys see on that play? So one of the officials answered that, Blake, I think that's his last name. He says, well, on that play, the quarterback was facing the opposite direction of him. He did not have a good look at it. He did not have a good look. He continues to say he did not have a good look. I did not see um, the face mask being pulled. Obviously, the umpire had players in between him and the quarterback, so he did not get a good look at it. He was blocked out as well. Then it continues to say, so that was that thing. We did not see it. We couldn't call it. So if you can't see it, you can't call it.
Can't call
Um,
nothing you don't see, man.
right.
And I
All
think
right.
we've actually had this conversation before,
Yes, sir.
uh, in dialogues with coaches. One of the things that I de-escalate, the problem with a coach sometimes is I would say, Coach, uh, if it happened like you say it happened, then I missed the call.
Yeah.
you know, in
Yeah.
other words, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm telling you I didn't see it. So
Yeah.
there's no way you can make an argument to say, well, he didn't pull his face mask. Man, we got thousands of photos and shots that show that the face mask was pulled. Here's the deal: I didn't see it, and that's what this guy is saying. So you don't call anything. You can't call anything you don't see.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's another part of that conversation. Uh, was there discussion on the field? Because obviously the Vikings were complaining about it. Did your crew have a discussion about it? Hey, did we miss it? Or anything like that on the field? Okay, the response by one of the officials to that question was on the field, we definitely did discuss it, but they did not bring up a concern. We discussed it as a crew, but we were not able to see it on the field. Therefore, we are unable to make that call.
Mm, see there? Right.
Sounds like what you said, Mr. Duval.
I'm telling you. Uh, I would, see, you got two clock operators that are working that game too, that were up there in the booth. Uh, they saw it, and they probably saw the review and everything else.
Right.
Here's the deal: they weren't on the field, so they don't get to make that call. See,
Yeah.
all these review people that I've got a friend that she's a review person in the
Okay.
NFL. That's all she does. She's all over the world, all over the country now, and that's her job with the NFL is to review plays. And sometimes they don't review anything at the game. Sometimes you might have two or three, uh, but they don't get that. They don't get to review those things that are unreviewable. They say. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of discussion this year at the end of the season by those who come up with the rules that they're going to probably include this, as a reviewable play now.
Yeah.
And
That would be nice.
yeah, because it's a safety issue. And in college football now they're reviewing targeting because they're ejecting you for
Yeah.
targeting. Uh, I don't think it's an automatic ejection even in the NFL for targeting. It's a foul, but I don't think it's an automatic ejection in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
But that is a safety. It's a safety issue, and they don't want you hitting him up there. Uh,
Right.
and it's not an automatic ejection. I think if they conclude that what you did was so deliberate, as a targeting foul, they can eject you, but it's not automatic, and it's
All right.
automatic in college. You know,
Yes, sir. All right, and you already tapped into that too. I mean, Mr. Duval, you're all over, and that's why you are, our expert that's on here. This is the last part, right, that we're going to share. But is that play reviewable? the official says it is not reviewable. If the flag was thrown and the Vikings would have been given 15 yards. Instead, this missed call virtually ended the game slash play. Officials are not going to see every single thing that happens out there on the field, but the fact is the critical play is not reviewable or it's ruling adjustable in any way. All right. So this is something that the league may need to consider changing. So
Yeah,
again, you summarized all of that, Mr. Duval, and it was backed up, by
right,
what the official was interviewed about. So
right.
it's unfortunate, but it's the situation.
Yep.
And and Mr. Duval, can we now dive into the actual rule of face mask for those who may not know what the rule is? I mean, you can see somebody pulling somebody by a face mask, but here's the rules of face mask, and I'll let you describe it.
Okay. It always says that no player can grasp and control, twist, turn, push, and pull. Uh, so what they're saying is, say you grab it and you let it go immediately, it's okay. Now, uh, switching over to high school has a grasping of the face mask rule. They took it out of college. Uh, in high school, if you grab it, it's 5 yards. If you twist and turn it, it's 15. So uh, in college and the pros, though, they say if you grab it, well, you probably didn't mean to grab it. So turning it loose immediately. It's
Hmm.
that twist and turn. That's that's the deal, is that you continue to pull it, and and it's very easy to see when you see him grab it. The next thing you know, you see that head turning, you know, then that's real easy. You know,
Yes,
that's
sir.
that's 15 yards. That's what it's finna get you, 15 yards there. But you can also see sometimes when somebody grabs it, they turn it loose. They turn it loose immediately, and
Right.
so that's nothing in college and the pros.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
And then also seen at the very bottom, missed face mask penalties are not reviewable. So
right.
we'll see what the competition committee says about that
Yeah,
this
that's
off
gonna change.
season.
I tell you what, if I was a betting man, Tyra, I bet it's gonna change.
Yeah, yeah. And look at the reaction of Zero after he did it. Like you can see by his reaction, he knew what he
Oh,
did,
yeah,
and he knew what he had done, and he,
right. Yeah,
fortunately for the Rams, this did not get penalized.
right.
But that's the play. And hey, again, here that we're giving you the insights through the minds of an official, of a football official, and so that you can kind of understand that, hey, this is what they're dealing with in order to get to those, to get to the call that they make or don't make. And if you don't see it, you can't call it. You
Can't
know,
call it.
and
That's right.
that's just kind of the way it goes. And I think the players, coaches, the league, man, they understand that. The fans, we're gonna take it a totally different way, but they understand that this sport is, you know, played at a very high level, and it's only but so many people that can actually officiate it, and so they'll take those mistakes and keep it moving.
That's
But
correct.
they will work. But they will work to kind of make corrections to things. I mean, hey, once upon a time there was no instant replay in NFL,
That's right. That's
uh,
correct. You have to stick
right?
with
And a
every
lot of
call.
people, with every call, a lot of people were not alive when that was going on. Also, there was no 2 point conversion in the NFL. Some people have probably lived their entire lives only knowing that there's 2 point conversions in the NFL. There was a time
That's
where that
right.
wasn't there either. So,
That's
the
right.
game is constantly and always evolving. Look at and
Evolving.
speaking of face masks, right? When there a time where they didn't even wear face masks
They
and
wear
play
face
football.
masks. That's right. Oh, they had that one
Hey,
little bar across there, man.
oh yeah, then you get to the one bar face mask. I
Had
mean, who's the
one
last
bar.
one? Joe
Yeah.
Theismann maybe be the last one to wear that one bar,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I
So,
think I think face masks came about because of a lot of broken noses and missing teeth and everything else in football.
yeah.
So
Yeah. So hey, if they didn't have any face masks, we wouldn't have had this problem, right? But we would have
that's
had other
correct.
issues.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
right.
we take
Absolutely.
we take it all. We take it all in this great sport. So
Yeah, yeah.
all right. Any closing remarks, Mr. Duval, before we roll out?
No, man, that's pretty much it. I just pray that these guys remain safe on the field, that God protects them when they're out there, because that uh, any play can be their last play when they
Yes,
play.
sir.
So I just pray that there are no injuries out there and all. That they're protected. They wear all that protection, but it's still not enough uh, to protect them from things that can happen and stuff. So yeah,
All right. All right, way to end the show today, and appreciate you being on this Sunday afternoon. And we can continue with the rest of you can continue with the rest of your day, and I want everybody else to do the same. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, the notification bell to share. Share this episode. I mean, this is very informal here for people so that they can, grasp another part of the game from the officiating side of it. So make sure you share this episode with your family and friends. All right. So for Mr. Duval, I am Mr. 411. We thank everybody. You have a great rest of your day. We catch you later with making it official. We out.
take care.